Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike. Other Mike's over here. And you guys can probably imagine what we're up to. Well,
no good.
Usually no good, right? I'd like to real quick say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed hope everybody got a day off, but most importantly, hope everybody enjoyed spending some time with their family. And eating some good food, of course. I'm
still feeling it.
I actually haven't eaten anything today because I'm still full from yesterday. So, but anyway, we got a new product in. Mike ordered for us to test out, and so yeah, we're going to take this thing out of the box and check it out.
Week, and it come in 2 days. It come in the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Come in Wednesday.
So it's a diesel heater. But anyway, we're going to get the camera spinning around, and we'll show you guys what we got. All right, Mike, you want to explain to us what we got there?
This is the Vevor or diesel heater. It's an 8 kW diesel heater. It's all self-contained. It's a suitcase style. It's not the tall, skinny one, but it's a short, fatter one.
Okay.
It's 12 volt, 24 volt style diesel heater, and according to the YouTube videos I've seen on this already, and according to the specs, it should run off of my Blue 80, which is smaller than yours.
All right, so this one is the AC 180, and that is the EB3A.
And this is a 268 watt hour diesel heater.
And then the big one is power bank.
Power bank.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then power station. This one here is the 1152 watt hour.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got a test video on this one, and I can put one of the cards up in the top corner up there so you guys can check that out if you're interested in it. But anyway, well, let's open this thing up and see what we got.
All right, so we got a booklet, which is going to be handy. Got our first little box of parts here, and this is our vent.
Okay. Looks like an adapter. That's pretty neat.
I guess it snaps on.
Okay, you can rotate it around. That's pretty neat.
I don't need that.
Looks like it was packaged pretty well.
It's the packaging on it, dude, is, I'm telling you, when you see it.
I like the orange. That's cool.
And then here's
Box of accessories.
Accessories.
All right. All right. So it came with a box here, and this is going to be.
This is the exhaust tube. This is your intake tube, the small one.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're all flexible too.
Yep, they're flexible. And this, I'm not really liking this because it's all aluminum.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stretch out that. I mean, you see I'm struggling at it. It doesn't stretch out that good.
Right.
Well, 3 inch.
So I did find a link online for a guy that was using dryer hose.
That's what I was going to say. Dryer vents.
But it's
really
an insulated dryer hose, and it's like 16 foot. So that might be something we look into. This is the exhaust tube. It's flexible as well. Looks like you got the muffler.
Got some.
Okay. Exhaust pipe wrapping. It's a heat shield.
Yeah, heat shield for your exhaust. So that's good.
And that's probably the fiberglass kind. All right.
And here is the intake muffler, and then some clamps and some bolts.
All right. So it comes with pretty much everything, it looks like.
The only thing it didn't come with was a 12 volt plug.
Huh. Well, let's see what we can find. All right. So we've got it setting up on these blocks because everything does come out from underneath. The muffler and all is on it. And I did hold it up. You can actually see through this muffler. Me and Mike were just talking. They do make a couple of different styles of muffler that you can replace this one with that have a little baffling in it. And then this is the intake screen. So if you guys look in there, I don't know if it'll, but there's really nothing there but just the screen. So it's not much. I don't think it's really filters. It's probably just trying to keep the big particles out of it.
And it looks like looks like it ain't all the way down.
Yeah.
See.
So
mainly it's probably just to keep like leaves.
Wonder if you could modify it by putting some foam or something in it, or maybe a sponge.
Maybe a sponge.
Something like that to kind of keep the smaller dust particles out of it. But then I guess it would it might kind of impede on how it draws air through it too. So something we could test out though.
Yeah. All right, you want to help with the fueling process?
So we're gonna put some fuel in this thing now.
40 degrees.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, so it's 40 degrees out here. So what we're gonna do. So what we had to do, we did actually play with that battery there, so you can actually jump these leads here, and we were actually able to get it to power up with a Milwaukee battery. So we're gonna experiment with that later on to see how long a Milwaukee battery will run this. So the other thing too is it didn't come with a 12 volt or cigarette lighter plug, which would go here. So with that being said, I'd have this little 12 volt power supply. So we're going to plug this in. Now this is not going to be as efficient as it could be. There's going to be some changeover draw. Alright, so 0 watts right now. I'll cut our 12 volt power supply on. Alright, and we'll see how much this thing... Alright, so you can see it's drawing with just the inverter on, or the changeover on, it's at 10 watts. So now we're going to watch this and see what this heater draws. So it should self-prime.
Now to prime it, you got to hold down the down arrow for 7 seconds. And then it started 300-second countdown. Okay.
All right.
And that's, what it's doing is it's priming.
You guys can hear that. So you guys can hear the fuel pump. That's not overly loud.
And that goes away once it starts. Once it's done priming.
Yeah.
The ticking. I think
slow
this is
down.
a no ticking.
Anyway, we're gonna let this thing start up, and then we'll bring you back. We'll bring you back here in just a minute. All right. So we're still counting down on the startup process, and real quick, show you guys. So initially the power supply was drawing 10 watts. So we're at 17 now, 17, 18. So kind of curious to see how much more this goes up, but 8 more watts than that. That's not bad. All right, guys. So we got a little smoke coming out on the exhaust. Our little power supply, which is rated for 60 watts, didn't do it. So yeah, we're going with this. So far,
Milwaukee for the win.
yeah, so far. So we're just gonna see if we can get this thing going on its first fire up. There we go.
That Milwaukee battery is starting up this diesel heater.
Yep.
Can you believe that?
There it goes.
How unbelievable is
That
that?
is pretty wild, isn't it?
We need to send a clip of this to Milwaukee.
Be like, hey guys, can you make some?
Y'all need to build a battery specifically for this.
Now it's smoking a little more than it on the startup, so it should clear up here in just a little bit.
This is the first initial startup. It's at 3 to 5 minutes to heat up.
So we're gonna give this a little minute.
It's speeding
And,
up. Sounds
yep,
like
you can hear it ramping up. This is pretty cool.
this is awesome.
All right, we're going to bring you guys back here in just a minute. All right, guys. So it's finally went through its startup procedure. I'm sorry, and it was smoking a little bit, but it finally cleared up out of the exhaust, as you can see. We've manually turned it down as far as it'll go on low. We're going to leave it on low real quick, just so you guys can hear it. So that's about as loud as it gets. Put that up there and you can hear the air coming out, so it's doing pretty good. The Milwaukee battery was fully charged, and now it is down 1 bar. That was for the initial startup. So on diesel heaters, they pull the most wattage as they fire up, and then once they're running, they don't have to use the igniter anymore. So, but yeah, pull the end of this hose off real quick, and let's see what kind of
warm
temperature we got coming out of there.
All right, ready?
And this is on low. So 220. It's nice there. 80, 84.
84 was the peak.
As the hose heats up, it'll read a little warmer. What's the exhaust read? About 90, 103.
No. It goes up.
Well, it's on low right now. Before we had it
Yeah.
up a little high. So
It's about 100 degrees.
all right. So now that's in manual mode, click it up to about 5 and let's see what it does. So you're going to hear it starting to ramp up, and you're going to hear the clicks. That's the fuel pump getting faster to supply more fuel. Of course, the most efficient fuel economy you're going to get with these is going to be on the lowest setting, of course. So let's get it. We're going to let it fire up a little bit, and then we'll bring it back.
If we heat both tents with this,
yeah,
like what we talked about, putting a T in here
and then running
a hose to each tent.
Yeah.
Now we'll probably have to have it on 5 so it blows
enough
air through to make it to the tent.
Yep. Yep.
So, but right here on 5 now, and this is already heated up.
Yeah, 90 degree air, 93, 95, 90. There's 100, 105. So it continues to climb. It's super nice too, standing out here in 40 degree weather.
Now that's the air coming out. You know, I mean, good God, it hit 137.
Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, this. I'm no longer cold.
I bet not.
Instant heat. I love this.
All right, so we're gonna read off a few specs for you guys if you're tech guys or you're just interested in all the specs on one of these. So.
All right, of course, you know this is the Vevor brand. This is the 8kW, 12 to 24 volt unit, and we're currently running it off of an 18 volt Milwaukee battery. Keep that in mind. And it has a 5-liter tank, which is a 1.3 gallon tank, and we only got, we only put about half a tank.
Yeah, it's about 50% right now.
Use 16 liters per night.
Or 0.16. So it's
0.16 liters per night.
So it's not quite a liter.
Yeah, so, and it's 5 liters, so you use maybe layman's terms, like maybe a 16th of a gallon a night.
And that is on low. That's going to be on the lowest setting, because on the low setting, of course, that's where it's going to get its most optimal mileage.
It does have a wireless remote, and it has a 32-foot range on it. Also, it's got an automatic altitude adjustment and an air-fuel ratio up to 9,000 feet.
So if you guys decide to do some climbing in the mountains, you can take this thing with you. And what that really entails is, so basically as you go up in altitude, the air density is less.
Yeah, the air gets thinner.
So basically it's an air-fuel mixture thing. So that's it automatically calibrates for that, which is nice. And I will say, I would recommend that if you guys go with any other brand of diesel heater, get one that automatically adjusts for altitude, because that's going to give you your best burn, and it's going to give you the best, what's the word? Fuel economy, I guess is the word.
Economy. Fuel efficiency.
I mean, it's not a car, but fuel efficiency, exactly. So
now this diesel fuel cost me, at the station I went, it was $3.49 a gallon.
Yeah.
And so, I put $15 worth in this can that I got, it's a 5-gallon can, and used half a gallon on this. So take that in consideration.
Move the camera up, it kind of slid down on us there.
Yeah. All right, it has overtemp protection on it.
And I think it showed like 512 degrees. So once it gets up to around that area, it'll shut itself off.
Now this panel on here, we'll show this in a minute, and I'll show you in the book, but this panel is fully programmable. You can set it up to automatically turn off. You can set it where you want it. You can even set it to automatically come on, if I'm not mistaken, on this particular model.
Yeah.
We'll have to double check on that, so don't hold me to it.
One thing it did show too, though, a 100 amp hour battery can work continuously for 72 hours. Now, I have watched a few videos on these diesel heaters, and a lot of guys are complaining about the manual, and I will say that this manual with this heater is actually pretty good. It even gives you some stuff to, when the codes come on, like an E code. It could have an ignition plug issue, a fan issue, a high temperature protection. So it even gives you all that stuff and what to check out. It's almost like a troubleshooting guide.
And okay, now it has, like I said, it has overtemp protection. All right, this unit is 9.8 inches wide, 15.7 inches long. That's from front to back. And it's 12.2 inches tall. And it also weighs 19.7 pounds, so it's really not that heavy.
It's not, and that's going to be dry weight. That's not going to be with any fuel added.
Right. And fuel with, I think diesel fuel is what, 6 pounds a gallon or something like that?
Yeah.
Roughly, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I have to look it up. I can't remember.
So, figure a gallon and a half, so it's just adding by another 6 pounds. So maybe 15 to 20 pounds max fuel, completely fueled up.
Still less than a big bag of dog food.
Right.
And it's got a handle.
Exactly. It's got a handle with it. Now, we got it set up on this board because it has the exhaust coming out the bottom, and it has holes in the mounting down here, and it comes with screws, it comes with bolts, it comes with self-tappers.
So basically everything you need to install this thing.
And it's steadily putting out over 100-degree air right here at the machine.
So let's check it again real quick. So we are ranging right at 134 degrees right there. At the end of the tube.
Feels good.
So that's pretty nice. What do you think, Miles?
Yeah.
Caleb, come here and check this thing out. That's
Right.
that's gonna be.
Imagine sleeping in the tent with air coming in there like that.
It's not bad.
Not bad. That's nice. Right there.
Hey,
So, all right, guys, we're gonna
just use it right now.
check this thing out a little bit more, and yeah, we're gonna ramp it up and get some more temperature readings real quick before we shut this off, because we're running out of light. So. But yeah, we're going to turn this thing up real quick, get you guys some more temperature readings, and then
give you our final thoughts
yeah.
on it. Blistering hot right there.
See, it's on the timer.
All right, let's go ahead and get a temperature reading real quick. Let me turn the camera around and get more involved with this. All right.
I have to tell you real quick before we get this temperature reading.
Yeah.
I'm highly impressed with this.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Dude,
pretty cool. That's going to make tent camping super nice. And the other thing about this, guys, is it's not like propane. So if you burn propane, you do get a little moisture. So with this, it's a dry heat. So the issue with like condensation should be minimalized, because this should basically burn the moisture out of the air.
Now, if you
as
remember
it warms
the last video that just went up,
we did have a little condensation in our tent.
Showed a little condensation on the metal crossbeam.
This should
aluminum crossbeam. You won't have that.
No.
Yeah. Let's start with the exhaust.
Yeah. So this is back up to level 10. And we're at around 160, 65, somewhere in there. So that's
about 160.
Yeah.
Okay. That's on the exhaust side.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this is 1.5 feet.
Yeah, something
roughly.
like that. Maybe 2 foot.
Maybe 2 foot from the actual motor on the inside, or the unit on the inside. Now I'm going, if you look where the red dot is, I'm going right here at the end.
112. Let's shoot it down in the pipe real quick and see what the rest of it.
That's 112 degrees. Now I'm going halfway down the pipe.
180. That's pretty impressive. So we did finally get a reading at the very bottom of it. It jumped up as high as 202 degrees. So, but I have to say, guys, this is actually pretty impressive. I can get this camera a little brighter, guys, here, if it'll let me. So anyway, so that's the Vevor diesel heater. It's pretty impressive. I have to say, without actually using it for the night to see how it's actually going to perform, pretty impressed with the first initial. The build quality is pretty good. Of course, you got great heat coming out of this thing. We're still running on the Milwaukee battery, and
still 3 bars.
Still 3 bars. So right now it's,
we've been running 20 minutes now.
Yeah. And what we're going to do too, guys, is once we get, I'm actually going to order me one too, and we'll do a comparison between the 2 diesel heaters when the other one gets here. But we're also going to take and do a time lapse and see how long one of these Milwaukee batteries will run this machine. Kind of curious about that. Well, anyway, if you like the content, guys, leave us a like, a comment down below. Of course, that really helps us out.
And we'll
subscribe.
Put a link to this in the
probably
in the pinned comment or the description, one of the two.
Make sure to subscribe. Like I said, it don't cost you guys anything, and of course, it just helps us out. We're just a small channel, and we're just 2 normal guys out here just making camping videos. So
get out and make your own adventure.
Oh yeah, you guys take care, and we'll see you on the next one.